I've been pretty much homeless all my life. Lived in a car. There's been times where I've wanted to go. Just take me, let me go. Really, it's no fun out here.
And I fall an island and a kingdom for your soul. If you truly are in love with living, then you have got to let it go. You've been staring at the ocean like it's a language you could learn. But the truth is, it's a cruel gift. Turn it round and we'll watch it burn. 'Cause
Homelessness. It's closer than you think.
Can I tell you just a little bit about how things went for me when I first encountered this? I was raised in the good old days when we had solid middle class families, and there wasn't much diversity in my neighborhood or my school district. And I had never really encountered a single human being who was unable to afford shelter. That was unknown to me. I still grapple with that daily, but that was the situation. So I started in 1989 at Monsanto High School doing some student teaching. And then I got on staff here the following year. And in my very first class, about 2 weeks into it, a young man stayed after class. And I don't want to stereotype, but here we go. He would be somebody who most people would associate as a gang member. And when you would see this person on the street, you may feel somewhat intimidated by their appearance. And here he was in my room. Well, he broke down. He was crying. And it turned out the reason he was crying is he was living in his car with his mother and his sister. And this was how his life was going. And I really couldn't accept that. You know, here I am from my middle class, white picket fence neighborhood, and I went home and I just thought, this can't be. This is the United States of America, and this can't be. That said, I started to understand what the cycle of poverty was like for teenagers, and I can only speak to teenagers because that's all I've ever taught, what that was like for them in trying to go to school. One out of every 3 students on our campus has experienced some sort of, we call it food insecurity. That's a very nice, politically correct way to say they don't have enough food. They don't have enough to eat. And just today, I asked a student if we can't come up with the snacks for next week. We did have a theft of snacks, so we don't have them for next week. What would be the outcome for him? And he said he would just have to sit in class with a headache from hunger. So it's not somewhere else, although it is somewhere else. But it's not just somewhere else, it's right here at Monsanto High School. We're talking about kids who live in hotels. We're talking about kids who live on sofas. We're talking about kids who live in camper shells up in the mountains, without any electricity, without any water. I've had students who live in abandoned buildings, actually, and they convince other people to run a hose over to them so they can have some running water. I had one young man, I'll never forget him. He slept at night in an abandoned house, and he fell asleep with his back against the door so that he felt safe that way. I've had many students come into my classroom and they sleep because it's the first safe place they've had to sleep.
Many students in APS can find refuge in the Title I services. But what about when you're an adult? What about when you're all alone?
I had a job and I had a home, and before I lost my income, that's how I became homeless. And it's not because of drugs or alcohol. And everybody thinks that because we're homeless, we're druggies.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, but I'm not. I'm sorry, we are not druggies. And it's just... And I take care of my family. This is my family out here, a bunch of dogs. Him is my family. Because this is my family right here. I'm trying to get us out of here working, and
Does he work too, or does he stay home?
we can't because the homeless steal from the homeless,
Oh.
or people that have homes steal from the homeless. I'm sorry, but my husband here got stabbed almost 2 years ago and died right here next to this trash can. I was in Denver, Colorado, and I felt him in Denver, Colorado when he literally died. And even though he's been abroad right now, he's still my husband.
Yeah.
And I can't.
Yeah.
He was brought back for a reason, and that was the reason was for me to come back. Well, I want to get a place, but nobody will help us because we have 2 dogs. Homeless pets get fed better than we do. Seriously. People will bring them dog food, dog treats, but she gets fed better. That's why they don't see no ribs on either one of these dogs.
Yeah. Yeah, they're really healthy. And they're really happy.
When she wants to be, because she can be a typical female.
In the homeless community, dogs play a large role. They are often either just dropped off or left on the street to be found. Many people have told me that the dogs are their saviors, that without them, they couldn't have made it.
She's my angel. She's our survivor.
However, having a dog isn't always a good thing.
And they did not help us because we have 2 dogs. None of the programs will accept us. She is from Operation Street Dog for the Homeless. She's got her own webpage. She's on a book of a child's book, and she's on a book of Lay's potato chips. I'm sorry, but this may go off or will go on, whatever. They only help the junkies faster than they do alcoholics. Seriously. They took 15 people off of here and gave them housing for a week in a hotel. They help the junkies literally with needles, and I'm like, sorry, but...
From the perfect start to the finish line. And if you're still...
They do exist. It just takes a little bit of searching.
'Cause most of us are heaving through corrupted lungs, setting fire to our...
Here at Manzano, in room D10, you can go get school supplies, clothes, and food if you're in need.
that went wrong, the lovers that went wrong.
The city of Albuquerque also has various programs like the Barrett House or safe houses that people can go to for help.
We are the reckless,
And many churches play a big role in helping the homeless. Really, all people need to do is ask.
one day we'll reveal the truth, that one will die before he gets there. And if you're still...
Directly in the Manzano community, Ms. Dolce has been helping students for 26 years. Her work has helped many students graduate and overall has made Manzano a better place.
I am actually humbled by the tenacity of these kids. And they have proven it day after day after day after year. I've never seen anything like it.
I'm ready.